Welcome to Video 6, Progress Monitoring for Subitizing. In this video, you are going to learn how to collect and use progress monitoring data on subitizing to ensure that the math instruction you provide builds on what your students know. Progress monitoring involves two key instructional practices. Gather information on a child's existing knowledge and skills relative to a developmental progression, and tailor instruction to children's learning needs and continuously monitor progress. To begin progress monitoring for subitizing, you will need the Subitizing developmental progression, the number and operations developmental progression, and your progress monitoring logbook. You will also need your learning journal for the exercises in this video. The developmental progression for subitizing was previously discussed in videos 1 and 3 of this module. So, let's take a look at another valuable progress monitoring resource, the number and operations developmental progression. This progression illustrates the general sequence in which most children develop the core early number and operation skills covered in all 4 professional learning modules. The arrows indicate how the skills build upon each other. The colors represent the math content of each module, and in doing so, also show the relationship between the modules. Let's take a closer look at the number and operations progression as it relates to subitizing. You'll see that a child's ability to instantly label a small collection without counting is the foundation for later and more complex early math skills. For example, children who can subitize small sets up to 3 are better prepared to engage in one-to-one counting activities. Moreover, children who can subitize small quantities are also ready to represent those quantities in their mind and mentally operate on them. That is, to add to or take away from the initial quantity. You'll learn more about this in Module 4. You can use this progression, along with the Subitizing developmental progression and your progress monitoring logbook, when planning and tailoring instruction for your students. This progression is particularly helpful when deciding which skill to focus on when a child is ready to move on or if a child is struggling. The Progress Monitoring Logbook is another key resource to support you in engaging in progress monitoring with your students. You might have noticed already that the skills listed in the logbook align with the Subitizing developmental progression. The logbook is organized into 2 sections, classroom sheets and student sheets. The class sheets allow you to summarize students' understanding of skills on the developmental progression across your entire classroom. The student sheets provide space to document more detailed notes about students' responses and misconceptions. Now, let's take a look at children's subitizing skills in action. You're going to watch separate video clips of children engaged in a subitizing activity. Imagine these children are in your classroom and you are interested in gauging their subitizing skills. As you watch each clip, take notes in your learning journal about what you notice about the children's subitizing skills, using the excerpted sections of the Progress Monitoring Logbook. After you watch the clip, you'll be asked to indicate which skills you did and didn't observe, and then decide on next steps for the child using the developmental progressions. Let's watch the first video now.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to hide it away so there's no peeking. I want you to tell me how many you see. Are you ready? You're going to have to look quick right here. I'm going to move the box. How many did you see? 3! That was so fast. You didn't even have to count them. You saw there were 3. That was great. Okay, let's try another one. You ready? I'm going to ask you to tell me how many. 2. So let's see how many there are now. Are you ready? 4. Wow. Okay, let me try another way. Are you ready? You don't seem sure. Would you like to see again? Okay, let's look. You think it's 3? Okay, let's take a look. How many? It's 4. Yeah, there was 3 and 1 more. Okay, let's try another one. Okay, you ready? Here we go. 3. Nice. Okay. Here comes a different one. Are you ready? Can I show you? Ready to look? I think it's 3. Okay, let's look. 4. That was the tricky one, just like last time. You saw the 3, and there's 1 more. It's 4. All right, let's try one last one. You are really thinking so hard. Okay, you ready? Okay, let's look.
3.
How many?
3.
3? You think it's 3? Let's look.
1, 2, 3, 4.
It's 4 again. That 4 is really tricky. It's 1 more than 3.
What did you notice about Kiyomi subitizing? Pause this video and take a minute to summarize your observation in the space provided in the Teacher Learning Journal. Let's take a look at how you could have completed the logbook. Kiyomi was able to quickly and accurately identify 2 bottle caps without counting. Although she responded correctly when shown sets of 3 bottle caps, she also responded 3 when shown sets of 4 bottle caps. Her over-application of the number word 3 indicates that she might not have a firm concept of 3-ness just yet. The same is true for her concept of 4-ness. Kiyomi's subitizing ability falls within the first band on the subitizing developmental progression. She can perceptually recognize and label sets up to 2. Given that Kiyomi is 3 years old, her subitizing ability is within range of other children her age. Based on your observation and the number and operations and subitizing developmental progressions, what should be the teacher's next step with Kiyomi? Pause the video and jot down your thinking in your Teacher Learning Journal. Kiyomi's teacher should continue to provide Kiyomi with many opportunities to recognize and label sets of 3. Kiyomi will benefit from being shown different arrangements of 3, as well as non-examples of 3, to help her differentiate between 3 and larger quantities. Now, let's watch a video of a different child doing the same activity.
Now I'm gonna lift this really quick. So are you ready to see really quick? And then I'm gonna cover it again, and you have to tell me how many hexagons I'm hiding. Are you ready? It's gonna be really fast.
2.
How did you see 2 hexagons?
Because I lift it up.
When I lifted it up, you just saw 2 hexagons? Let's check. Look at that. There are 2 hexagons. You were right. Are you ready? It's gonna be fast.
4.
How many am I hiding?
4.
I'm hiding 4 hexagons. How did you know that so fast? Well, how did you see them? Tell me how you saw them on the tray.
Why do you keep telling me that? You literally lift
Because I want
this
to
up.
know. How did you see them on the tray?
Because you lift this up.
Do you know how did you see them though on the tray? What did they look like? Before I show it to you, how did you see it in your head?
I use my eyes.
You just saw 4 so fast? Let's see if you were right.
1, 2, 3, 4.
There are 4 hexagons. Are you ready? It's gonna go really fast. Gotta look fast. You ready? Here it goes.
3.
You saw that so fast. How did you know there were 3? How did you see 3? How did you see 3 there?
So fast.
Yeah.
With my eyes.
You saw it with your eyes? How many am I hiding?
6.
How did you see 6?
Lift this up.
First tell me, how did you see them in your head? What do you see on the tray? How do they look on the tray?
Wow.
How do they look on the tray?
On the hexagon.
You saw hexagons on the tray and you think there are 6. But you said that so fast. Shall we check?
Yeah, I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
There are 6 hexagons. Ready? This is the last one. How many am I hiding? What do you think? 6? You think 6? How did you see this? Well, how did you see 6? How do you think you were? How do you think they look?
I already told you like 2.
Do you want to just see how they look? Okay. Let's see.
2, 3, 4, 5.
There were 5, but you know, I could see how you thought there were 6 because it looks like a lot, and it's kind of hard to tell for sure without counting, right?
What did you notice about Alessi subitizing? Pause this video and take a minute to summarize your observation in the space provided in the Teacher Learning Journal. Alessi was able to quickly and accurately subitize sets of 2, 3, and 4 hexagons. Although he responded correctly when presented with 6 hexagons, it was probably just a good guess because he also responded 6 when shown 5 hexagons. He wasn't able to describe how he knew how many hexagons were on the tray, so he is likely still engaging in perceptual subitizing. Alessi's subitizing ability falls within the 3rd band on the subitizing developmental progression. He can perceptually recognize and label sets up to 4. Given that Alessi is 5 years old, his subitizing ability is outside of the range of other children his age. Keep in mind, however, that we have data from only one observation. It takes multiple observations to truly get a handle on what children know or don't know. Based on your observation and the number and operations in subitizing developmental progressions, what should be the teacher's next step with Alessi? Pause the video and jot down your thinking in your Teacher Learning Journal. Alessi's teacher should continue to work with Alessi on subitizing quantities of 4 and larger. She could also help Alessi see the smaller quantities that make up a larger quantity by using quantity cards with 2 different colors and asking him to describe what he sees. This will support Alessi to begin conceptually subitizing. Alessi also may be ready to engage in the meaningful counting activities we'll discuss in the next module. Now, let's watch a video of a different child doing the same activity.
Manuela, I'm going to put some bottle caps back here. And now, are you ready to look? You have to look under here because I'm going to just show you really quick. Ready? 1, 2, 3. How many did you see? That was 10. You just saw it so quick. Okay, let me try another one because I can see. You can tell how many. Are you ready? You have to look right here because I'm only going to show it real quick. Ready?
3.
That was so fast. You don't even have to count it. You just could see there were 3. Well, let's try something else. All right. No peeking. You ready?
4.
Did you see 4? You want to look again? There's 5. You ready to look? Okay, I'm going to close the box. You ready? Here we go.
3, 4.
Did you see 3?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, 3, and then there was one more, so it's 4. Let's try one more. Okay, and we'll see if you can tell how many. You ready? Okay, you have to be ready to look.
5, 6, 1.
Oh my gosh, what do you think? Would you like to see it again?
4.
why don't we take one more look? What do you think?
4,
Show me with your fingers how many.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Is it 10? Let's take a look.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
How many were there? There were 6. This many. Yeah, that was good.
What did you notice about Emanuela subitizing? Pause this video and take a minute to summarize your observation in the space provided in the Teacher Learning Journal. Emanuela was able to quickly and accurately subitize sets of 2 and 3 bottle caps. She responded correctly when presented with 4 bottle caps. However, she also responded with 4 when shown a set of 5 bottle caps. When given a second look at the set of 5, she indicated it was 5, but it's unclear if she was guessing or conceptually subitizing. Emanuela wasn't able to subitize the set of 6 bottle caps, but her initial estimates were in the right direction. Emanuela's teacher may want to collect more data to see if Emanuela can subitize sets of 4 and 5 in different contexts, and answer questions about how she sees those larger quantities to get a better understanding of where she falls on the developmental progression. Emanuela's subitizing ability falls within the second band on the subitizing developmental progression. She can perceptually recognize and label sets up to 3. Given that Emanuela is 4 years old, her subitizing ability is outside of the range of other children her age. Based on your observation and the number and operations and subitizing developmental progressions, what should be the teacher's next step with Emanuela? Pause the video and jot down your thinking in your Teacher Learning Journal. Emanuela's teacher should continue to work with her on subitizing sets larger than 3, making sure to introduce different arrangements of each quantity and using cards with more than one color of dots. Questions such as, "How did you know it was 5?" followed by discussions of the different ways a collection is 5, will support her ability to conceptually subitize. Like Alessi from the previous video, Emanuela is ready to engage in meaningful counting activities. Progress monitoring is not a one-time process, but rather one you will engage with continuously over time. For example, you will support Kiyomi with subitizing sets of 3 and document progress in developing that skill. Once Kiyomi can demonstrate that skill, you can move on to the next skill in the developmental progression, subitizing sets of 4. But keep in mind, you should continue to observe demonstrated skills over time. Now that you've completed observations for all 3 students, you're ready to update the classroom sheet. Regularly updating the classroom sheet will allow you to track skill progression for individual children and the classroom as a whole, so that you can provide tailored instruction that builds on what children know and can do. Looking at the completed sheet, you can tell that Kiyomi still needs to work on subitizing sets of 3. Emanuela is working on sets of 4, and Alessi is working on sets larger than 4. Now you're ready to begin progress monitoring for subitizing in your classroom. Remember to make notes of children's math skills not only during structured activities, but also during unstructured times and in all areas of the classroom. Children are putting their math skills to work everywhere. As you plan for math activities in your classroom, frequently consult your progress monitoring data in the logbook and the developmental progression to help you select activities, group children, and tailor instruction for individual children. Each activity in this module has a section on how to use your progress monitoring data to accommodate the different skill levels children bring to the activity.